Conservative new media viewers, what's going on? It's me, John D. Villarreal. I have another UFO/science story here. This story is about a possible UFO in Antarctica, okay? That is in the southern part of the earth, right? That's a ton of ice and all that type of stuff, okay? Very, very cold, etc. Now, apparently, there was a YouTube video out there, and in this video, there is some object above a scientific research station in Antarctica. I guess this was the Neumayer-Station 3, right? Now, there's something above this research station in this video, and there was some discussion about what that object might have been. Now, here's my take. First of all, the images that I'm going to show you here are not, obviously, of the research station. But what I'm trying to demonstrate, first of all, let me say this. This is all my personal opinion only, and not alleged any fact, not cast as any aspersion, all for entertainment purposes only. Please check the disclaimers. What I want to demonstrate is this. Antarctica is enormous, and it has almost nothing on it but ice. Okay, now I can go both ways. We'll deal with that kind of situation here in a bit. So stay tuned for that, because if there were and are UFOs or potential alien bases or stuff like that on the earth, and I'm not saying that there are, but if there are or were, Antarctica might be the perfect place to base out if you were an alien species with the technology to be able to get, if you can, here's the thing, if you could travel to the earth from another planet, in my personal opinion, you probably have easily the technology to be able to put a base in Antarctica without much problem. Now, so we'll deal with that in a second here. So stay tuned for that, because there's a lot to talk about with respect to that, in my personal opinion. Now, let's get back to this story. So here's my thing, right? What do science, stations do? One of the things that they do, if science station in Antarctica, is you want to measure the weather, measure the climate, see what's going on. At least locally, regionally, this and that, whatever. There's that, to me, in my personal opinion, from what I understand, maybe I'm wrong, that is a sort of that's something that some of these research places do. Along with, maybe you're going to study some of the animals there, the penguins or whatever. I mean, who knows? I don't know. I'm sure there's various scientific things going on there, etc. And, so, but I would think that, some of these places, from what I understand, they put up weather balloons. So, when I look at the screen cap from this thing, that to me looks like a weather balloon. Because, I've seen weather balloons before in photos and stuff like that. That, to me, looks like a weather balloon. Period. End of story. That's number one, okay? I mean, it's, to me, if I had to guess, you gave me one guess, that's my guess. That is a weather balloon in the photo, in my personal opinion. Now, second thing. If you were an alien in a UFO, right, and or you had a base in an alien/UFO base in Antarctica, why would you just happen to just zoom around in the middle of the day some research station? The thing is, one of the reasons I'm trying to show you these different pictures here is that there is huge amounts of space there that is completely empty, right? If you're a UFO and you're in Antarctica, ostensibly you're trying to be there, you're basing there, maybe, possibly, because one of the reasons I would think is that you don't want to be spotted. Okay, that I'm sure, again, if you have the instrumentation and the science and the technology to travel from another planet to get to the Earth, I'm sure you've got all kinds of advanced sensor equipment, telescopes, camera, etc., 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 scientific arrays, so that you probably wouldn't have to go anywhere. You could send like drones out. You could do all kinds of things. You could monitor stuff. In other words, if you're based in Antarctica, and you want to escape scrutiny, if you will, and notice by humans, why would you just happen to say, oh, I'm just going to go over here and kind of just be right next to this, scientific station? To me, that doesn't make any sense, okay? And the point is, looking at these pictures, again, there's all this space that you can hang out at, and yet you're going to go to the little spots. I mean, from what I've been able to observe and see, maybe I'm wrong, that a lot of these bases and stations and whatnot in Antarctica are really pretty small in comparison, because it's a pretty inhospitable place. I think there's only certain times of the year that they can get certain supplies in there and whatnot. I mean, this is what we're dealing with in Antarctica. So I think, in my personal opinion, when you put it all together, I don't think there's any way that there was a real UFO there in this YouTube video, number one. Number two, I think if my best guess of what that was a weather balloon. And number three, but now let's talk about Antarctica. Okay, so Antarctica, again, if you were to have a UFO base, if you will, and you wanted to escape scrutiny from humans, Antarctica may not be a bad place to be, right? But if you have the technology to get to the Earth, you probably have the technology to base out in Antarctica. And again, there's so much of Antarctica we don't understand, and it's inaccessible. So there's a bunch of ice that you could kind of like base out under. I think that there is, that wouldn't be a bad place to be. Or if you could, some people have talked about, in the ocean, stuff like that. I think those are the two, sort of, to me, those are the two, obvious places to go and base out if you're a UFO. And you want to, or / alien base, and you want to escape scrutiny from human beings. But if that's your goal, why would you show up right near, one of the very, very few spots, in terms of landmass size, in Antarctica where humans were at? That doesn't make any sense. So that's my take. What do you think about that? What do you think was in this? What do you think of the video? Do you believe there was a UFO spotted in Antarctica? Number two. Number three, do you believe that aliens and/or UFO might be in Antarctica, if not now, at some point? And what's your whole take on it? Tell me where you're at on this. Give me the comments below. Please subscribe above. I'm John D. Villarreal. You're watching Conservative New Media. Please rate this video up. Also, please post it to your social networking sites. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.